Welcome to the Charolais Chatter Podcast with your hosts, Carrie Cliff and Mitch Benish. Now here are your hosts, Carrie and Mitch.
They're made in a rain and dirt, in the blood, sweat, and the hurt, in the million-mile drives, in the years of sacrifice. Just living for 10 rounds.
Here we are, season 4, episode 4. Feels like forever that we've recorded since the Cody Cattle Company highlight. But with us today, we're going north. We're going to Canada. We're getting the hell out of the U.S. Or, I don't know, Jesse, are you going to be the 51st state?
You know, honestly, the way our government is right now, I wouldn't mind it. But, it'd be a lot easier shipping bulls across that invisible line there. So it's not that it's that hard, but to be honest, you guys got cheap beer, and I think I'd be pretty happy. So,
Well, I think there's a lot that goes on between both countries anyway. So we do have Jesse, and I know I always butcher your last name, so go ahead and do it.
Nicolation. It's Ukrainian name.
Yeah. Tryon Charolais in Canada, Lenore, Manitoba. So we're going north, but we figured with all the rumors in the world that the U.S. and the Canadians aren't getting along because of this and that and tariffs, we just said bullshit. See, so we had friends from Canada on with us, so we're all getting along, folks. It's all gibberish that's been brought on by the media, but there is things that are hitting in different areas of agriculture. I can tell you, God, your guys' sulfate up there's got ridiculously priced here in the last 30 days, 60 days. So make it a little bit challenging, but I hear everybody and their donkey is planting canola in Canada. So maybe that's why.
Yeah, I guess I still got to decide what I'm planting. So I've been too busy running cows here. So
yeah,
we're planting some again, but the prices aren't that great right now. So
no, I know. The only thing that's good is cattle prices. I mean, you start looking at wheat and oats and potatoes. Man, there's potatoes. We can't even give them away down here. Potato contracts are getting cut. So it's a sad deal. I mean, we have a grower that we deal with, and he usually has 40 circles of potatoes every year on a contract, and he's doing 0 this year, and it's all going into corn. So people need to get out more and go to restaurants and have a potato. Support your potato producers. So
with a nice Charolais steak.
Yep. Yeah, exactly. Charolais and potatoes. That'd be a good marketing plan. But so, Pat, I mean, I see we had a little hockey tournament between Canada and U.S. And the first 9 seconds, there was 3 different fights or something like that. Did you see that?
Yeah, I did actually. I seen that there was a lot of emotion in that game, and it just shows that you guys are good at hockey, but I think we're a little better. So
exactly. Yeah. I think I don't think hockey's our claim to fame, but I think football and baseball maybe. But I think that was there were some pretty good fights right at the beginning. I was impressed. I'm like, man, they started throwing. It was like Rocky 6 there real quick. So
yeah,
there must have been some irritated chattering going on before they started hucking the puck. So
yeah.
Anyway, well, we're gonna get in and dive into your sale, but you were on here with us 3-4 years ago, and it was right during your transition from your father to yourself. So let's what's been happening before we start talking about the lots on your bull sale coming up on March 17th. What's happened in the last 3 years? That's what your program has developed.
Well, there's been a few changes here. Actually, I met a girl here a couple of years ago. She was a pure city girl, born and raised in Winnipeg.
Here we go.
We're getting married in August of next year, not this August, but next. So
right on. Well, send us an invitation. We'll go to the bachelor party.
Yeah. Well, you could fly to. Maybe we'll have it in Vegas or something to the NFR. So
there you go. There you go. Yeah.
But no, she's a straight city girl. She's my main helper here with the cattle here now. We're running just close to 500 head here, about 300 purebred cows and 200 commercial Sim Angus cross cows. We're calving and with her I couldn't do it, but going back a bit, on 2021, my dad decided he wanted to slow down. My dad's 63, my mom's 60, and they wanted to slow down. So we dispersed all of our my dad's bred heifers and first calvers. And I actually sold mine too in that sale, in the change into the guard sale. And it was a great success. And I bought all my dad's cows that are 3 years and older. And I kept my main nucleus of a herd. And so that allowed to give them some money for retirement here. And so my dad still has about 100 commercial cows of the 500 head here we have. But everything else I'm running here, and we background all of our calves. They're weaned in October, and we fed them here to middle of January. And, man, it's an exciting time to be in the cattle business. So,
oh, wow.
We averaged just over 3,300 Canadian on 850 weight steers, a couple pot loads of them, the whole pen, which would be about 2,800, 2,900 US on 850. That's everything. That's the entire pen.
Wow.
And we were about 2,900 on a couple pot loads or a whole pen of heifers here that we didn't keep as replacements. So, and they were about 750 weight. So that'd be 450-ish for 7 weight heifers. So the market's, and that's the whole pen. So the market's very, very good. The steers, our steers, we sold to a buyer. He bought his first bull last year in Ontario, and he decided to buy our entire steer pen. And our heifers went to an order buyer privately off the farm as well. And he's bought our cows sight unseen for 30 years, and he sends them to Nebraska and Alberta. So I think these ones actually went down to Nebraska. Our heifers did this year. So
okay.
Is that in western Nebraska? We talked one time, maybe
McCook, I think.
Yep.
McCook area. Yeah,
yep, that's right where my brother's at. Yep.
Yeah, that must be a big feeding area, isn't it, Mitch? Or
yeah, there is. There's several heifer development areas and big feedlots. I mean, honestly, you run up and down the interstate from east to west in Nebraska, and there's feedlots everywhere. I mean, we just, my wife and I came up to Sioux City tonight to help my daughter move tomorrow. And, a couple of the feedlots that were empty last year are plumb full of cattle this year. So a lot of color. It's probably a half a mile away from the intersection where the highway where the cattle are. And you can see about every color in them pens. So, I don't think they're too picky on what they can get in the pens this year. So pretty exciting. And then I don't know, I should have sent you that video, but we had the Nebraska Cattlemen's Classic this last week, and bred heifers, the top end was Charlet crossbred heifers. So
that's awesome.
Yeah, like $4,700 a piece, and they were nice. They were AI'd. I think all 5 of them were AI'd. It was a pen of 5. I think they had called them stuck to AI, which nothing too fancy for bulls, but pretty incredible to see. Those heifers were $600 higher than the next pen to them, which was a set of F1 Baldies, and then probably out of the 8 pens of those bred heifers that sold, they were $1,100 higher average than the average on that sale. So,
wow.
Yeah, that's pretty incredible. So anybody wants to know what to do with their crossbred heifers, breed them and sell them. And I talked to another guy that said that he's starting to use a lot of Charlet cross heifers in his recip herd too. I know Wrights do that as well. I think they run Charlet Red Angus, but he just said they breed back better. They take embryos good. They're just hardier cattle. So I think you're going to see a little shift maybe in the commercial world. So starting to come.
Well, there's I think we're talking Brett Sprader. There's some stuff coming up on the USDA and recognizing some different colors here in the near future. And some things getting worked out that will benefit the Charlet breed. So I think more info to come on that one, but won't get into it.
I also talked to a banker there this last weekend, and he's right in the heart of a pretty good area of cattle feeding, which is by West Point, Nebraska. basically just straight north of Lincoln there, 2 hours or whatever, eastern part of the state. But he told me that a lot of people are worried about where the cattle are going to come from, because we're low on numbers. But he said people are feeding them longer, or the carcasses are getting bigger. I thought he told me 80 pounds up from last year.
Wow.
So you're going to start to see some of those breeds that were really popular
Mm-hmm.
become ineffective because they can't make it that long.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
And
guys
that's why
aren't feeding more cattle; they're feeding less, but they're getting them bigger. So,
Yeah.
kind of another
That's
shift
kinda why
that's
we're
coming.
doing that's why we're kind of doing this carcass data too. I know everybody's gone to genomic everything, but I still like to scan these bulls.
Mm-hmm.
That guys can see what kind of ribeyes they're going to produce and kind of marbling and everything. So
Some actual numbers. Yeah.
some actual numbers, and I like seeing the actual numbers. Like we can pull hair and say whatever, but when you have that real data
Mm-hmm.
beside
Yes.
you, and get somebody that isn't biased that comes to your farm and does it, and especially when you see these indexes, how a bull does compared to his contemporaries, right? So I'm a believer in that, and up here especially, you don't see many guys scan their bulls anymore, and I enjoy doing them, and
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
like the association in Canada, from my understanding, hasn't. I don't know what the word is accepted the fact of the PA status, or
Yeah.
right, or they haven't. Wouldn't say
Accepted
promoted it. So, but you have been testing for it. Is that correct?
Yeah,
With your
this
farm?
is the
Yeah.
second year since it come out. We've tested our entire bull battery here that we're selling in our sale. All of our bulls that we're selling have all been PA tested, and the results are in the book. If it says PAF, that means it's a PA free, and if
Mhm.
it's PAC, it's a carrier for the PA.
Yep.
And I just want to let my commercial guys know that are going to be listening to this, that if you have Angus cows or whatever, if they're not Charolais cows, you don't need to be worried about a PAC. It's just a
Yep.
carrier. You need two of those genes together to get a crippled calf or whatever that is.
Mhm.
And if you're a purebred guy looking, I'd highly recommend for you to look for the PA free bulls.
Yep.
I know there's a couple more sales that we're doing in Canada, but you still can't see it on our website of a bull's PA free or PAC. So I think it's a really good thing that it's in our book. And if you have any questions about that, just let me know. So
Perfect.
one
Well, I
thing I was
think
going to ask you, Carrie, here about
Yeah.
the TSI, that's a new EPD in Canada, and some of my commercial customers don't know much about it. Can you explain it? One of you guys, because I've been trying to explain it, and I kind of just took a screenshot of
you
what
know.
it's like on the early website, but
So it's changed here recently. They've updated the configuration of what all goes into the TSI, which now it's more enhanced towards the carcass and ribeye marbling end of the thing. So it's more focused on that, where it was maybe a balance of birth weight, weaning weight, yearling weight, which there still is, but those proportions have changed a bit, or percentages into the configuration. So I would say right now, the way it's configured is more of a carcass driven deal. So,
okay.
I wouldn't. So what I would really enhance, and if you guys, for example, if you have somebody that's all he cares about is weaning weight,
Yeah.
He's selling weaning weight. He still needs to pay attention to those numbers, or those ratios, those weaning weight ratios. That'll give you that actual, there's I think there's some confusion that TSI means that they're the highest gain and highest performing. Well, it's not, because it's configured into this carcass data, which is a good thing. But it depends on what that customer is focused on, and that's what I've had. Because 90% of my bull buyers, they want. I mean, they're selling them at weaning. They're not carrying them to yearlings. They don't care what they wear at yearlings. They want facet, or lowest birth that they can, or comfortable, I guess, in the highest weaning weight. That's all they care about. But every area is different, so I'm not saying that's right or wrong. But
that's what I would say too. And another thing to think about too is TSI, the marbling and ribeye and all that is a big portion of it now. compared to what it was when it first came out. But, there's breeds of cattle that marbling is not that big of an issue. So if you're looking to just put some pounds on some high marbling cows already, you're probably going to pay attention more just a straight weaning weight, yearling weight. And I think the previous TSI, if I'm not wrong, Carrie, the higher the birth weight, the higher the TSI, which is probably not something that, so if you had a bull that would be +4 on birth instead of one that was at the breed average at 1, that bull had a big leg up TSI wise. And they did fix that, I believe.
It's a better balance. I think the higher the yearling weight drove that carcass weight configure or number, which drove up your TSI. And I'm like, okay, what do we need high yearling weights for? I mean, I get it, but depends on it. Again, it depends on, if you have guys that are wanting to push them to yearlings, and so then, you want that, but, so I think it's a better balance now, towards the end product, for the, end producer for a good tasting chunk of meat, basically. I still think performance data and those ratios on the weaning weights, yearling weights, something that your bull buyers, and I kind of enhance that in my catalog because that's what the guys want. But every area is different. So, but with that being said, let's dive right into your bull sale. So it is happening Monday, March 17th, 2025, 2 p.m. And 2 p.m. would that be Central Time?
Central Time, yep. So I'm the same time as Mitch.
Yep.
Yep, Central. So I guess to the west, you're an hour behind. I guess to the east, you're an hour ahead, I guess. So we're the same time. Like we're only 120 miles straight north of Minot, North Dakota, 60 miles north of the Canada-North Dakota border there. So 3 hours of Bismarck. So we're kind of fairly close to the States here. And I just want to let everybody know, for the Americans that are listening, there are no tariffs on Canadian cattle.
That's
you don't have to worry about any of that. Every year, we sell bulls all over Canada. We have lots of great Canadian customers, and about 50% of our bulls go stateside as well. So we do all the export testing. We get them across the border. We subsidize the trucking. Like where Mitch is, we could probably get a bull down there for $500. It's not a big deal. So. And then you have 70-cent dollars, so $10,000 bull is only going to cost you $7,000. So and we'll get it down. So very simple.
With the Canadian exchange right now, it's crazy. So it's a dollar, And
if we don't have an election soon, maybe we'll be down to 60 cents. So you never know. So we're falling. So
is your sales online also?
Yeah, it's online here. The online bidding is on dlms.ca, which is similar to the U.S. DV auction. I don't know if you guys have been on the DLMS or whatever. And it's online. We also have phone bidding. We have some very qualified sales staff. We don't have a sales manager. We do it all ourselves. I invoice everybody, and my fiance Nikki here, she's my clerk. She keeps that all going when we're here. So, we're just your run-of-the-mill average sale. And, we don't have a fancy sales crew. We just have a bunch of hardworking guys. And my one ring man, he manages an auction barn a couple hours north of us, and he sells hundreds of thousands of commercial calves a year. And same as my auctioneer. He's auctioneer at the Saskatoon Livestock Sales. So, we, just get your good everyday cattleman, every good honest sale, right? Yep. So you buy a bull, if you have $20,000 to spend and the bull stalls out at $8,000 and you're the high bidder, you get the bull, right? So it's a good honest sale. So
good. That's the way it should be. So
they're there all to sell. So
we're gonna highlight quite a few bulls here. So let's get started on that. Let's highlight this lot number 1, John Elway. Bull. So actually, he was a good quarterback back in the day, at the Denver Broncos. So
that's my favorite NFL team is the Broncos. So I'm a Broncos fan.
I'm sorry. Not as bad as the Chiefs, but that's okay.
But this bull, this lot number 1 bull, it's always It's a very coveted position to be lot one in my sale here. We use the Jehu 2 bull. We ran the one thing I want to say about all of our herd sires, which makes us unique maybe compared to other purebred operations, is pretty well every one of our herd sires that we run start their careers in our commercial herd, our large commercial herd. I want to see how these bulls breed. I want to see how they calve, how their feet are, libido. I want color pattern and all that. And then if that bull is good, then he moves into my purebred operation. Even the $245,000 Jehu we had, that's everywhere now. His first year, he even bred commercial cows.
Wow.
Back then, he was just a $12,000 bull, proven his worth, right? So, but yeah, no, this lot number one bull, he's a really, really good bull. There's a bull up in Canada, actually Sonderup. So late Tom Sonderup was runner-up bidder on him. He was a Jehu son. His name was Go North, and he sold for $80,000 a few years ago to this Palmer Charolais. And that bull, last year, Palmer's high-selling bull was out of Go North. There was a dispersal called Bob Charolais. His high sellers were all out of the Go North and bred that way. And the leadoff, there was two other sales, Anchor D, and then their sale was a few weeks ago. Their high seller, their prestigious herd there, and their high seller was a Go North son. So this bull, and they're all going, $20,000 commercial sons. So they're doing really good. He's doing really good in the business. This bull is a spitting image of that $80,000 bull we sold, maybe a little bit wider. Really, really good feet on him. He's homozygous pulled, and the strongest point is that mother. That cow is 11 years old, and she still has a good feed and udder, and that just a really, really good bull. And the one thing we did, which I kind of thought was kind of interesting, I've never seen many bulls like this in the Charolais world, and you guys might be able to tell me, is he's a 5.4 from Marbling IMF.
Wow. That's a big number.
Yeah, like that 5 is AAA, which is as high as you can get in Canada. So he's a 5.4.
Wow.
Almost a 16 RIA. So, he's a really good bull.
Yeah, that is. And he's got a adjusted 365 day weight at 1566 and adjusted 205 at 952. So
yeah,
you put the pounds on there.
Yeah, he was actually probably he was my heaviest calf at weaning this year. And his weaning weight index was 129, and his marbling index compared to the rest of my herd was 144. So that's a really good feat. We had the original Jehu, and this Jehu 2, in my opinion, was even better than his dad. And I think this number one, if you're a purebred breeder or astute commercial guy, look at this number one bull. That bull is a really, really good bull.
If they want him to win, they might have to change the name to somewhere like I wasn't gonna say Dak Prescott because but no, John Elway was a good quarterback in his day. But we're gonna go on to lot number 2, which is actually funnier. Lot 2 and 3, but lot 2 is Tom Brady and Joe Montana. It was a good one of the best quarterbacks in my opinion. But let's talk about lot number 2, Tom Brady.
Yeah, well, lot number 2, Tom Brady. Here's a really good bull. He's very, very similar pattern to the lot number 1 bull. His mother is a bigger cow. She's probably pushing. She's one of my bigger cows. She's probably 1650 weight. She's just a tank of a cow. She's not really, really tall, but she's really, really wide. He was 102-pound birth weight, but if that calf would be born in Nebraska or Kansas or wherever, we feed our cattle more in the winter, so that affects our birth weights a little more. So, you could probably take off 5-10 pounds off of that.
Right.
But he's the same cow family as lot number 1. Really, really deep bodied, wide based bull, lots of hip, really nice front end on him, good muzzle. He's a really his brother we sold to Honeyman Charolais in North Dakota. Before they dispersed, and just a really, really good bull. So
that is.
And
lot
he's
number 2, PA free, and he's a Jehu 2. son.
He is. Yep.
All right, so we're gonna go on to lot 8. Oh, good Lord, Mahomes. Really? Did you have to name one? The poor guy, you know.
Yeah. And we'll just say here quickly, lot 3 is the bull on the cover. So that's with his mom and the ball there. Yep. So that big calf, that shows you how big these calves do come off their mothers. But yeah, no, Mahomes, that was a bad Super Bowl. But here's a bull. When we sold, we lost the Jehu 2 bull, and you know, a lot of my commercial guys, they buy these bulls and they're Angus based and they don't keep replacements. So, you know, we've been running this line for quite a while, but, you know, I find that just the consistency and power and type and still have calving really works for us. So this Mahomes bull is a really, really good bull, though. He's homozygous pulled. There's a cow beside him here. That 72T cow was one of my favorite cows that we had over the years. That cow produced until she was like 14 years old, had a calf every year.
She's a tank.
And a really, really good cow. She actually traces back to this one cow called DTM 18L, which was my dad's first cow he bought in 1984. My dad bought that cow and another cow, 1X, in 1989, and 80% of our herd goes back to those 2 cows of our 300 head cow herd. So it just happens to be the ones that worked out and stayed all go back to those 2 cows. So, but yeah, this Mahomes is a really good bull. You know, 87-pound birth weight. He has 11.2 Cavanese EPD, which puts him in the top 15% of Cavanese and TSI, I guess, and top 4% of maternal Cavanese. Weaning weight index 114. You know, homozygous pulled. I kept this Polar Vortex bull here. Actually, he was my high selling bull a couple of years ago in our bull sale. We decided to keep the walk-in rights in him, but we sold just the U.S. semen rights. And he sold for $35,500 to HD Cattle in Montana and Silver Spur Ranch in Wyoming. I don't know if you guys have heard of Silver Spur Ranch. They're huge. So they AI'd I don't know how many hundreds of cows to that bull here the last couple of years, and they're liking them. So, but yeah, so that's probably my pick of the sons out of that bull. So
cool. That is lot number 8, Mahomes. So we're going to go to some cord sons in lot 13 and 16, but let's talk about Ripcord on lot 13.
The cord bull is a bull I bought here. He was my heifer bull. I bought him as a yearling from Wood River Charolais in Saskatchewan here. I bought the bull, but I knew a lot about his pedigree. His grandfather was this MVY Explorer bull, and he won exhibition. And that bull, we walked that bull, and that bull bred cows naturally until 10 years old.
Wow.
And you know, he bred, and those cows are just so darn good. And the cord bull, his mother went back to this Hammer Time bull we sold, Wood River, and that's the same. And Hammer Time's mother is actually the mother of my lot 1 bull. So there's a lot of really good maternal. And I used that bull on my heifers, and they were awesome. I'd give them a 10 for 10 out of Cavanese on my heifers. So, but this Ripcord bull would be my pick of the bulls that you can white heifer bulls. Yep. You know, I would use this bull on my heifers all year round, all day long. If you look at the footnotes, I have all the information how long the mothers and grandmothers and everything have produced.
Yep.
He's an 82-pound birth weight with a 13.7 Cavanese EPD and minus 3.6 birth weight with 124 yearling weight. So that's a really big spread. And you know, he's not the tallest bull. He's probably what a lot of people in the States like. You know, he'd be that 6 to 6.5 frame, but he's smooth and he has a nice neck extension. And if you're worried about get a lot of Cavanese or if you want to calve heifers, that's a bull I would really look at. So
Ripcord. That's a good name there. So lot number 13 for your calving ease needs.
Yeah.
Let's go on to lot 16. Seabiscuit. That's awesome. There we go.
Yeah. Seabiscuit here is another cord son out of a Jehu 2, which goes back to the famed Prairie Rose cow that we've sent embryos and cattle from that cow family all over the world. The 16 bull is another bull that I would recommend for heifers, or you want that really good calving ease. That cow just calved here the other day here, and she has a perfect udder, nice small teats, really good footed cow. He's a 12.1 for calving ease with a minus 3.5 birth weight with 129 yearling weight. Homo pulled. This guy's homo pulled, PA free. He's a really.
Yep.
His weaning weight index was 134, so he really.
There you go.
Did a heck of a job here.
If you want some calves right at weaning, there's your guy.
Yeah, he's a good bull. So.
Yep, that is Seabiscuit. It's fun. It's going through, looking at how, or obviously you are engaged now because you got somebody that's getting some good names for you, right?
Oh.
Or
it's hard to name all these bulls, but I just try here. I try to do
is.
themes, So.
No, it's awesome. You got War Emblem there, but we're going to talk about lot 18. Is Dust Commander.
Yeah. This Dust Commander lot 18 is actually a son of the Wrangler Rifleman bull. In 2022, I flew out to Alberta there to the Wrangler Dispersal, and I was looking for a Cavanese bull, and I come across this bull here with his mother. He's a really, really tight-shouldered, small-headed bull, clean sheath. He's actually I bred that bull he calved really well on some commercial heifers and a few purebreds last year. This year I bred him to my entire purebred heifer pen. And, I've had over 50 heifers calved to him so far this year. And I haven't had any trips to the vet, and he's been an awesome calf. I bred all my whites, reds, black heifers, everything to him just because he was such good calving ease. Wow. And this lot 18 bull is, and it's crazy because he goes back to the Silver Gun. He's a Silver Gun grandson.
Yeah.
Out of an all-state cow. And that bull is one of the best heifer bulls I've ran.
Yeah.
So this Dust Commander, he's my pick. He's out of a duty-free cow I bought from the Springside Dispersal, and he's homozygous pulled, PA free. He has a 16.52 RIA with a 3.8 marbling. Really, really good, really, really good bull, Cavanese bull. So
that is lot 18. So let's go on to lot 20, Prince George, and it is sired by the national champ Mayfield. And I have to say, I've seen a lot of pictures of Mayfield sons. This is probably the closest one. I hadn't seen it till now, to be honest with you. This is probably the closest one I've seen that looks like Mayfield. So pretty impressive here. So this is Prince George, lot 20.
Yeah, my dad was getting kind of bored in the retirement, so he decided to buy a few embryos. He bought 3 embryos, and we had two Mayfield sons or whatever. And I have another one here that I'm going to keep and use in my own herd as well. He's pretty much identical to this bull. We had a guy here today, a commercial guy, and he's bought bulls from us for over 30 years. And he went through he actually went through all of our bulls, and he told me that was probably his pick of the entire pen was this Mayfield bull. The cow was just a great big. She's probably an 1,800-pound cow. Really, really deep-bodied, perfect foot. I seen that cow when she was 13 years old, and in my opinion, that was one of the nicest-looking cows I've seen. I just love the cow, and I think the Mayfield really, put some neck extension into that front end. Gave him a nice clean sheath, lots of hip. If guys are into showing cattle, I really think this bull would do a lot of winning. I'm not a show guy or anything, but
look at the extra rib in him. His belly's hitting the ground or hitting the straw there. So, and
he's wide, like really, really wide, and he has nice hair and super, super good feet. And he's just a darn good bull. And I think he'll either go purebred or commercial. If there's a purebred guy looking for a really good bull out of a really good cow, that bull is a super, super good bull. So and he has a 15.88 RIA, so almost a 16 RIA. So he's a really nice bull. So
there you go, Prince George. That's your Mayfield son that's going to be selling. That is awesome. So how about we go on to lot number 24, and we're going into some dark horse sons, 24, 25, and 26. So,
Yep. We're going to get into the Red Bulls here. You know, one thing I found that with the commercial guys here is there's going to be more and more black cows in the area. And there's a lot of guys here that, you know, they want that I found. It's just exploded this market. Dad started these back in the 80s. He started buying tan cows and red cows because he could buy them cheaper when he was getting going. And, you know, I'm kind of thankful the last 40 years that Dad continued breeding these cattle, because this is one thing that has just exploded for us for our commercial bull buyers. And I'm getting calls every day from the States and Canada and all over for these bulls. They all carry the non-diluter gene, so they can breed them to their black cows, and they'll get 100% black and red calves with the Charolais Performance. So,
okay.
Yep. So, you know, if you're in the CAB or anything like that, you know, you can run one of these bulls, and they make awesome cows too. So
what do you think the future is of this, you know, the red Charolais or red factor scenario? What's in Canada?
You know, I think there's a good future, but, you know, we do the whites, we do the tans, we do the reds, and now we're into the blacks too or whatever. But, you know, we kind of do a bit of everything, yearling and 2-year-old, just because I find that it's a different clientele for all these different types of bulls, and allows a guy to sell more bulls without flooding the market. And like if I was trying to sell all red bulls or all white bulls, or trying to sell the number of volume as I'm trying to sell, I'd be a little more nervous.
Yeah.
But I think there's a good future in it. Most of these bulls go to guys with black cows and occasional red cows. And some guys have Charolais cows that they just want tan calves, so they'll throw them on there. We've started a lot. We've been fortunate. A lot of the herds in the States, like that are red, we started with a lot of our genetics. And we're not afraid. Like, we'll take a dark red bull or dark red cow, and we'll breed her to a white bull to get some new genetics, and we'll keep a tan son and throw that back onto our red herd, you know, to make sure we keep the quality up and the new genetics, right? So
yeah,
but I think there's a bright future in it. To be honest, it seems like a lot of guys, they want bigger calves, but they're blind. You know, they want them red or black calves as well, right? So
right.
So
these are there's 3 of them here. They're dark horse sons. Lot 24, 25,
20,
26 is Phil Collins, Eric Clapton, and Steve French.
Steve French. The 24 bull, the Phil Collins here, is out of the Dark Horse Son. And, you know, we ran Dark Horse. We actually owned his sire. His name is Bulletproof. We had him with C-Mex. We owned him. And I'm a believer that every bull should throw a son that's better than him. And if he doesn't, then he's not a great bull. So, you know, the Dark Horse, in my opinion, was an improvement on a sire. And then, you know what, then these sons, I think this Dark Horse even outbred himself. Like this Phil Collins here, lot 24, he has some deep. Like, you look at these bulls, you'd almost think they're semi-bulls because their bellies hit the ground, and except they're a lot wider and they got a little more frame here.
Yeah.
But like this 24 bull, he's off of a Y cow. So that cow produced until she was 13, and she produced 8 herd sires and many different purebred herds, including Doll Charolais in North Dakota.
Right.
They bought a son that they really like.
Okay.
And and he's 17.1 ribeye, really, really good bull. So, and same as, really, really deep bodied, really with an 89-pound birth weight. These Dark Horse bulls, they pack a lot of punch. There's a lot of performance in these cattle.
Yeah.
But you know, they're darn good cattle, eh? So.
Yep. That is Phil Collins. So let's talk about Clapton.
Clapton here. This one's kind of lot number 25 is kind of a unique bull. He's a quarter full French, and he's homozygous red, non-diluter, which means you only get black calves out of black cows, and he's homozygous pulled. So he kind of hit all 3 on this bull. I sold his maternal brother last year to Rail Charolais in Kansas or whatever. I don't know if that is. Are they pretty close to you, Mitch? Or
no, not really.
No. They bought the brother here, And this is a really good bull. He'll be a real Cavanese bull. This lot 25 Eric Clapton.
Yep.
Real good hip on him. He's homozygous pulled, non-diluter, and PA free, and really good numbers on him. So
it is good balanced bull right there, Mr. Clapton. Yep. So how about number 26, Steve French?
Steve French is actually the name of my fiance's house cat, but I guess I named the bull afterwards. But Steve French, lot 26. Here's a really good bull. If you look at the cover, there's the white bull is lot 3 on there with his mom, and this red bull with his mom is this 26 bull. Like, as you can see on the cover picture, the amount of depth in these cattle are just unbelievable.
Oh, yeah.
Like in that cow, I'd put that cow against any Simmental or Angus or anything in the land. Like, she's deep. She's a really, really good cow. She's a 6-year-old cow, and she's awesome or whatever. Just a really, really good bull. You know, he has a 9.7 Cavanese EPD with 127 yearling weight, 280 TSI with pushing a 16 RIA. So really, really good, really, really good bull. If you wanted to add some color, if you're a purebred guy that's thinking that maybe you want to diversify a bit, you know, there is a lot of potential in selling these colored bulls.
Mm-hmm.
On the Facebook world, it's been just wild here. So
that's crazy. Yeah, there's definitely a market. So that is lot 26. And now we're going on to Sammy Hagar in lot number 33. And he looks like a beast. So.
Yeah, he is a beast, actually. He's out of a first calf heifer.
Oh, wow.
The bull, I didn't think we bred her to. I didn't think was a heifer bull, but he decided to break in and bred that heifer. And, you know, she had that heifer or this bull calf herself. And like, if you look at the cow family here, this is the Buffy cow family. And that's, we sold a bull which is probably one of the most influential red bulls in Canada and the US over time. We had a bull called Trian Captain Morgan 340A that we sold to Doll Charlets. And virtually, I would say 80%, 90% of the red cattle go back to that bull.
Oh,
and
wow.
just because of he was such a good bull. He was like the Ledger in the whites or whatever you want to say.
Right.
But this is the grandmother or the great grandmother of this bull is the full sister to the Captain Morgan bull. And like, look at the mother and the granddam in the picture there. They're just really deep-bodied bulls. He had a weaning weight index 129 and a yearling weight index of 124. Very, very deep-bodied, very, very wide. You know, I put this bull against any white bull in the land.
No, yeah.
You know, 8.3 Cavanese with minus 1.1 birth weight with 145 yearling weight. So really good spread. And 17.32 RIA. So if this is a really, really good bull. So
that is lot 33. Oh, Sammy. Don't forget about Sammy Hagar.
Were you a fan of him back in the day?
Oh, yeah. Oh, I'm not old enough, Mitch's, but I still like him. So we're going to go on to lot 37, Freddie Mercury.
Yeah, Freddie Mercury. Got some queen here. So, yeah, so this is a really, really good bull. Arguably, probably one of my top 3 favorite red cows in the herd, this 1921F. This bull has black on his head. He is almost black. So if you threw him on your black cows, you're going to get the majority black calves. Here's a bull I really, really like. Like his picture is very similar to him. He's a very stocky built kind of a bull. Like these guys that produce these show steers or whatever, you know, I wouldn't be surprised if he would throw some really good show steers to this bull. You know, he comes from the Prairie Rose cow family. His great grandam, the 401P, which was the highest milking EPD female in the Canadian Charolais Association.
Wow.
They're born and raised on our farm. She was the number 1 cow, and she produced until she was 18 years old, having a calf every year. Just a super, super good bull. I miss it in the catalog. He does have slight scurs on him, but I would put it against him.
Right.
We sold his maternal brother last year to Zemlicka Farms in South Dakota Sisseton area, and they really like the bull. Just a really, really good bull with super good numbers, 9.3 Cavanese. We really breed a lot for the Cavanese number. I find that, like, I almost look at that even more than birth weight, but the Cavanese number is, I almost look at that mostly in the birth weight and weaning weight. But those three numbers are, I think that Cavanese number is fairly accurate. So
right.
Try to breed for high Cavanese. And if you look at our bulls, they all got really good Cavanese scores. So
if you bred this bull to some white purebred cows, what color would you expect?
100% tan.
Okay.
Yep.
Like a butterscotch or
yeah, your butterscotch or tan, 100%. Yep. They'd be probably the same color as that cow. Maybe some might be darker, who knows, but kind of that cow that I have beside her there.
All right. Yep.
They'd be all tan. So they so if guys are they're thinking their cow herds are getting a little bit white, and if they're taking a bit of a discount on them pink nose calves, just run one of these and you'll get 100% tan calves. So
well, there you go.
They're very versatile.
Yeah. So let's go on to a black one and number 54, Black Factor.
This is a new venture for me. Last year was the first year we sold them. I've had commercial guys contact me for quite a few years, and they're saying, well, why don't we breed black Charolais bulls? And I said, well, the first thing I said is there is such thing as there were some purebred black Charolais in Canada, but I won't breed them. They weren't good enough for me. I'm not going to sell a mediocre quality bull.
Yep.
But I said, my neighbor here lost some grass, and he had one of the nicest herds of registered Angus I've seen. Real big, deep-bodied bulls. So I asked my commercial guys, and I said, well, if I was selling you bulls out of their purebred red Charolais sired out of purebred black Angus cows, would you buy them? And they said, absolutely. So I started my sale last year. Actually, this 54, he was my high-selling bull last year. He's a F1 bull, purebred Charolais cross purebred Angus. He sold for $24,000 to a couple breeders in Australia.
Yep.
So that bull was collected all last year at Bovagen in Alberta, and we sold semen. He fit his commitment to Australia, and we also sold semen in Canada and the U.S. to guys with black cows. They wanted them black cows, but they want them a little bit more performance here. And it's too expensive to ship a live bull, so now the bull is getting sold in the sale. But I think you would have to drive a long way to find a black bull with that much length and that much hip.
Yeah.
Like, he is unbelievable. And actually, I wish I had a few more of these black bulls, because the demand that from the commercial guys that I've had and guys are asking about it, they seem really keen to try one. So
that'll be dope. No, he's a good looking bull. Yeah, just
really good bull. I wish I could find a white one that looks like him. Actually.
He's
a damn good bull. So
that is lot 54, try-in Black Factor. So we'll go on to lot 55, Jackson 5.
Jackson 5 here. Here's a full brother here to our one of actually our bull we are using in our purebred herd here, named Flatland Cavalry here. We kept this full brother, and we bred about 40 purebred cows to him last year. He's very, very similar made, really, really deep bodied, lots of width, out of a super good cow. He carries that 9.7 Cavanese with that minus 0.3 birth weight EPD, and super, super good feet. All these Jack's foundations, that they have really, really good feet under them. We've been running this bull. This bull is pushing 8 years old. And, his feet are still good, and he's going to go breed cows another year. The reason, when we're running 2 sons out of him now, this Jack's Foundation bull. And, he's just one of those bulls. Just the females are so good, and the bulls are so marketable. We've been selling them for quite a few years, and guys seem to like them. And this lot 55 is a definite really good bull. So
yeah. He looks like, what is he weighing?
Most of our bulls will be 18 to 2.
Oh, wow.
2,000, and the 2-year-olds will be that in the sale. We don't push them really hard. Like the first, I just got in. Dad back in the 80s actually built his farm by raising 2-year-old bulls and selling them to the government pastures that would come around and buy them in the fall. And then we got out of 2-year-olds because we tagged them today with the law tags because they are such a pain in the butt sometimes. One get killed and broke a leg and everything, so they're a lot of headache. But like these bulls, though, the first year, like when they're calves, we winter them with our herd sires. All they get is hay and silage, and so they look they're not pushed the first year, right?
Right.
And then the second year, they graze all summer, and then we bring those bulls in October and feed them for the sale. So they're not really heavily pushed, but they're growing out really slow. And guys, I just want guys to know that are looking at these bulls that these are not leftover bulls. They've never been offered for sale, these 2-year-olds. They're just younger bulls that we used to steer all our younger calves just because they were too young to sell as yearlings, but
Yep.
these are too good for that, and they're just really good bulls. So
Yeah. That is lot 55. So let's go on to another 2-year-old in lot 57.
yeah, lot 57 is a bull I actually forgot to name.
Let's call him no name. Or call him Mitch.
Yeah, Mitch. Call him Mitch. Mitch, you buy them and you throw them those white cows and you can name them whatever you want.
we'll call him Beaner.
Beaner, there you go. But yeah, anybody who buys them, if they want a name for them, I can change that when I transfer the papers. But this is a really good bull. He's very similar to the 55 bull. Really, really nice head, smooth shoulder, great neck extension. His mother, we just got rid of this fall. She was 13 years old. Her feet and udder were still really, really good. Her hip went on her, so she was time for her to go. And her granddam produced until 11. Just a really, really good dark red bull. I think you're going to have to – this is one thing I think that makes us unique compared to other places, especially if you're looking for colored Charolais. Is there'll be 1 or 2 in a sale a lot of times. Well, we have 53, so there's a large offering.
Yeah.
We've really, really focused on the quality of this, and it's kind of our little niche market here. Yeah. And, I like raising white bulls. I sell lots of white bulls too, and I also like raising these reds, and I just like good cattle, right? So,
all right.
But 57 here, he's homozygous pulled, homo red, non-diluter. You only get red and black calves out of black cows, and a really, really nice bull. So
that is. So there's a lot of bulls that we covered, but there's a lot more to be offered. So go on your website, Tryon Charolais, and go under the bull sale link there, and get online or call Jesse to get a catalog. But you're offering a pick of in lot 78. You're offering a pick of your 2025 replacement heifer pen. So
you bet.
That's digging deep then.
Yeah, this is the third year we've done it in our sale here. To be 100% honest, this is probably the most nerve-wracking lot to sell every year.
Yeah.
Because bulls, whatever, if one sells a little cheaper, we're in the business to sell bulls and for commercial customers. But you're going through my herd and you're picking my best heifer here. One thing I prefer, and it says in the bottom here, I call it the pick of the replacement heifer pen, but we will breed these heifers, and you don't have to come pick your heifer until December.
Oh, wow. So
they'll be all preg checked and bred and everything like that. And if you're in the States, we'll get them down to you. No problem.
Yeah.
I don't really like selling females. Before Dad's dispersal, we only sold 11 females in 40 years. So we really don't sell a lot, but I like to let one heifer go just to go out there and work for guys, right?
Right.
But yeah, there's white heifers. There's a lot of really good JU2s, cords. There's all my sires are in there, and some good tans, some good reds. You can see kind of the example of the heifer calves, what they look like from my dad's dispersal.
Yeah.
And one thing that I would like to do, and I want to make sure, like the last couple of years when that lot is sold, I've told the guy, I've went through them and told him which ones are the best heifers. And I'm not holding anything back. I want the people that buy this to get my best heifer. So
Right.
because it only helps us in the long run. So, but yeah, you can come and pick whatever one you want, and they'll be all bred and everything. So
which ones in the past have they picked? Have they picked a white one, red one, and what did they go for in the past?
Aristo Farms bought it 2 years in a row. Tom there, Greco, the first year he said he wanted a red one, and he ended up taking a white one.
Oh, okay.
Actually, and then last year he took a red. So the first year it sold for 20,000 Canadian, and last year it sold for 34,000 Canadian. So you'd be about 28 US. But I to be honest, I have no idea what it'll bring this year. It's a crapshoot, right? So I wouldn't be scared if you want to find that really, really good donor cow, or just to hurt an cross animal just to boost your herd. I would not be afraid to look at that, because I'm not holding anything back, right? So they're all there, and but yeah, so there's close to 70 heifers in my pen. I think I put 50 or 60 in here, but there's actually close to 70. My Nikki was telling me here today. She said, "Jesse, you gotta sell more of them heifers. You got too many in there. I don't like 70 heifers next year." But there's some really good heifers in there. So
that's awesome. You should throw Mitch's new purchase in there too, with his little
the Highland.
Yeah, she's a cutie. Yeah,
is that a she?
Yeah, Scotty. Yeah.
So you're in the Highland showing, are you, Mitch?
Yeah, I guess we are. So we had her with us the whole week during the live sales there in Kearney, and then the junior shows on the weekend. But talk about the most famous calf in the whole barn. I mean, here we had 4 of them that were selling, and then we had her, and we didn't have anybody hardly the whole week ask about the sale cattle. Everyone wanted to know if we're selling her, but the sale was very good. We were fortunate enough to get them to good homes, and they sold really good for the bad weather we had. So, but yeah, Scotty is definitely well known now after the first show. So,
that's funny.
Where did it come from? Where'd you get it from?
She was shown out at Denver, but the people from Wisconsin that raised her. So, yeah.
So you're in the Highland business.
Well, I guess we're trying.
We've been making fun of it for years, and he finally just pulled the trigger.
So do you still have that rooster?
No.
Or did he die?
He got yeah. So we had something move in, and I think we had about 6 hens and then the rooster, and I swore nothing would ever kill that thing. He was meaner than ever before he died, and whatever got the hens got the rooster last. So
yeah.
He's getting 50 of them this April, so he's gonna have plenty.
Hey, the price of eggs, that probably wouldn't be a bad investment.
You know, my daughter bought 4 or 5 ducks last year just because she was bored, and I'm like, what the hell? We don't need no damn ducks. And so they've been, we got the creek runs in front of our place, and so they're kind of entertaining, but they've been laying eggs, and I'm like, oh man, I'll be able to make some money on these damn ducks now. So
yeah, them duck eggs are more expensive than chicken eggs,
and they're actually really good. But
yeah, they are good eggs.
It's just $3 here, so we haven't seen the big increase.
Oh, really? Oh, it's coming.
Yeah,
like everything else. But
everything else, yeah.
So your sale again, let's do a recap, is Monday, March 17th, 2025, 2 p.m. at the farm in Lenoir, Manitoba, or online. What's the name of that place?
DLMS.ca. There's online bidding.
Okay.
And there's also, and if you want to bid online, you can go on there. You can give any of our sales staff a call. For the U.S. customers here, we're not that far. We're only 120 miles from the nearest U.S. Airport there. So a couple hours to Minot, North Dakota. We're an hour to Brandon, which has an airport. 3 hours to Winnipeg and Regina, which all have international airports. So we're fairly central. And wherever you're located, I sent heifers to Alabama this year.
Oh, wow.
Fall. So kind of some red heifers down to Alabama. So, if you're in Western Canada, Eastern Canada, Alabama, wherever you are, we sent heifers to Mexico last year.
Wow.
These things, they adapt. It actually blows my mind how well they do adapt to different climates, and
That
you
is
can get
crazy.
them no problem. So
Yeah, that is.
uh, it blows my mind. I never thought, even my dad said years ago, like he never thought any of his cattle would go as far as they do. And
Yeah.
it feels good when we talk to our customers and they seem happy and they say they do well and stuff. So
That's awesome, especially when you're going to different areas. So
yeah, it's a little nerve wracking too. You know, I'm
Mhm.
36 years old. I'm young. I'm taking over everything by my dad's herd. I'm working at buying the home, 320 acres from dad
oh wow.
this summer, and renting his land and running this and having a couple guys working for me now. And it's a bit of a process, but
Well, and then you're getting married, and we got to plan the bachelor party. So when is the marriage date again? What did you say?
August 8th of 2026.
So, well, we got
That's
NFR coming up this December, and then maybe there would be a bachelor party in May of 26 in Nashville, Tennessee.
Yeah.
What do you think, Mitch? Would that be fun?
That would work.
Yeah.
I've never been to Nashville, actually. There's direct
Oh.
flights from Brandon here. You can go to Nashville now. It's pretty cheap too.
Nashville's better than Vegas.
Is it really?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That's the new party town. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Have to try
Dangerous,
that out.
but well, it's been a pleasure, my friend. And again, March 17th. Check them out and go on to Tryon Charlet's website and get all the information you need and give Jesse a holler. His phone number's right on there. And this will also go out on YouTube. So you guys can watch Mitch while he was picking his nose there for a little bit, but it's all good. But with that, everybody have some good weather and good calving season, and we'll see you on the next one. Have a good night.
Right.
Well, some raise them up, and some raise the roof, and some give their lives protecting me and you.